Gonna tear my heart open, tell myself shown my weaknesses, that I care too much. Scars remind us that the past is real. Tear my heart open just to feel. I'm pissed that you came around. Papa Roach. Shit, I forgot to change my Skims top. Tear my heart open just to feel. Hi guys. Papa Roach. I may have to change this shit because these small pics are going cuckoo. Hi guys. My weekend. My weekend was dreary, rainy, busy, tiring, and well, here I am. I'm alive. I'm here. I'm breathing. I'm functioning. I have peed. I have pooped. I have eaten. I have listened to a little quick interview Dan had with a local sports podcast thingy. Took care of Grandpa. What else have I done this morning? Woke up. Well, we know that. So that's it. Successful. Successful. You know, I'm hating. Yes, me too. You know, I've been in a funk. You know, we all get those once in a blue moon. And I haven't felt like doing really anything. I'm all cleared out. Thomas, I think. Could be a little bit left, but I'll find out later. Yeah, I'm in a funk. So Ed's fine. He's happy. He's been really great lately, actually. The last couple days, he's been just, I must say this, easy for Ed, right? Easy. It's been weird. Or maybe it's because I have been gone half of the days. I don't know. It's been a busy couple of days with the kids, my nuggets. I'm tired, mentally, physically. I'm burnout. I have caregiver blues. I have wife blues. I have mom blues. I have everyday blues, right? That's it. It's very simple. But I'm up and I'm here. It's rainy, so it affects my mood. You know, when they say seasonal depression, I agree with that shit because this is ugly. Nobody wants to be out here with this shit. Where's my sunshine? Where's my serotonin? Where is my happiness? It's not with rain, cold, winter fucking blues. Get rid of winter. I fucking hate it. So, I have been hibernating. Slick, you're on my main channel, girl. I'm gonna switch up my routine a little bit. So I'll go into that lately, in a little bit. I'm gonna switch back and forth here and there for certain reasons, but we'll get into that later. No, if you don't show subscribed on here, this is my main account, Mrs. D-Cell NorCal. That's it, main account. YouTube, I gotta figure out what to do with you. I don't know yet. I'm still pondering how I'm gonna fix the cracks and the holes. But it's time for a change. You know, when you are dealing with half the shit I deal with and trying to, you know, do my job as a creator or influencer or whatever you want to call us, it's difficult sometimes. And so I'm trying to allow myself the same grace, right? I need to step away sometimes. I need to clear my head, and I need to reflect on the important things in life, right? Reflection of, I have a great marriage. I have a roof over my head. I have come a long way on my own journey. I'm a badass caregiver, and I'm doing the best I can. You work your wrists, shit. So, by Leda, no N. Hi, Cindy. So, I have decided that I, for my own sanity, am going to change things up for me and for my viewers, I think. So I don't know, don't have a plan yet, but more subscriber lives are going to be happening. YouTube, there's going to be holes for you guys, and I apologize, but we never know. Well, keep it, just enjoyment while you got me. So I will be doing YouTube for sure Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, morning and nights. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do on Tuesday, Thursdays yet. Whether I'll make that a subscriber live only to go with my TikTok subscriber live, I haven't decided yet. We'll see what people want on YouTube. So, hi Mando. So anywho, it's time for me to own my shit. It's time for me to say fuck you to the bullshit. You know what I'm gonna do from now on? Hi Arnold. You know, any of you guys watch Scott Henry? Anybody? I think he's funny. I have watched him the last couple of years, and he has he's got a new movie role now, right? He is blossoming. He is growing. He is doing some pretty great shit. Good for him, you know, all because of this app. So it is amazing. And he also talks, and he also, you know, responds to the idiots out there. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm taking the plight with Scott Henry. Scott, if you're watching, bruh, I feel you. Wasted energy. You know, it's wasted energy. I'm tired of giving people my positive energy. I'm done. So if you're coming on, and if you are being a dick, a bitch, or any of those things, I will not respond to you. I will not respond to you no longer. My mods will have the power to block your motherfucking ass. That's it. They will have that power, not me. I give it up. I relinquish it because you aren't worthy. You aren't worthy. You are not fucking worthy. I feel sorry for you guys, but no more. You're not giving me even an ounce. And if I flounder, and if I pounce, it's a momentary weakness. But I'm going to ignore you. You two, ignore the bullshit. Ignore them. My husband thinks if you ignore them, they go away. And if they don't, well, guess what? Bye-bye. No more. And that's something I want to work on. No matter how frustrated I get, how flustered I get internally, I will block your ass myself. I don't give a shit. I don't even need mods. I got happy fingers, but I'm done. Scott, thank you for giving me the support, the insight, and everything else to believe in us and the power and the wonderful things that we are gaining, right? We are gaining from this app. We have put in the hard work to gain the recognition from this app. It doesn't matter at the end of the day Who helped start the fucking channels? At the end of the day, it's our hard work that puts it out. It's our hard work that puts it forth. It's our hard work that does it. Plain and simple. You go, girl. Any of you have my permission. You see rude ass people, get rid of them. Report them, do what they need to do, because I'm done. Have fun. Anywho, so that's what I've been thinking about. I've not finished this drive yet. It is hard work, and it's going to be really hard work for me to ignore the idiots, because I want to show them how stupid they are, right? How insignificant they really are. Because at the end of the day, it's not them that piss me off, right? It's not my supporters that piss me off. At the end of the day, my husband pisses me off when he doesn't say, fuck you all. She's my wife. I love her. You can't get on that gravy train, get the fuck out, right? So he's gonna start doing that, because that's what you do in a marriage. Teamwork makes the dream work. And so I expressed my opinions, he expressed hers. We had a meeting of the minds, and we had an agreement. We had an agreement that now he's gonna work with me, he's gonna support me in the ways that I need him to support me. I don't need him to validate what I do, right? I don't need him to validate what I do in my house. I know what I do. I don't need that validation. I'm good with the things that I do, and I know I'm good at what I do. I need him to put his foot down. I need him to say, y'all need to stop. I will no longer support or acknowledge people bashing my wife. That's it. Plain and simple. That's support. He's disgusted at the amount of hate out there. He is disgusted that the very people that bash me turn around and go to his page and offer him support. You think he likes that? You don't think he knows? It's ugly. It's ugly. We are a team, bottom line. We do this together. Whether or not you like it, you don't have to. There's plenty other creators on here. But for me, I will not continue to put myself in situations that are gonna tear me down. I don't want to, I'm done with it. It's ugly, it's horrible. And the people that are out there digging shit up and invading my privacy and putting hateful and hurtful things out there, y'all are ugly. That is ugly, that people hate so much that they look and they do things to try to prove a point. They dig up past shit and throw it out on these social media platforms that is so horrendous and ugly, just to prove a point. A point. Why? I have no secret that that's big, that big for people to do things. Obituaries? What? Y'all are disgusting. Y'all are disgusting. It's a very simple thing. Social media is a big land of people. You don't like somebody, scroll on. Scroll on. Don't tell me how to handle my interpersonal shit. Please I'm not here for that. I don't need people to tell me how to handle myself. Chris and Mary is going through the same thing, right? She posted something today, and I went in to support her because she deals with the same bullshit that I deal with. She deals with bullying. She deals with the stupid ass trolls, the ignorance of people telling her what to do, belittling her, telling her it's all for the money, when all in the same breath, it's not the case at all. We are sharing a journey of taking care of our family members. We are sharing with the world and people who have the same situation, letting them know we too are doing it. We too are sharing it. We too would love to support the people who are going through the same issue. Instead, we get threatened, we get bullied, we get harassed, we get called ugly names, we get called things that you wouldn't even think about. We have our past dug up for what purpose? For what purpose? To prove a point? Have some decency, people. Have some decency. Have some kindness in your soul. But please do not tell us to ignore the hate. Do not tell us that. It is impossible when you are getting these things all day long. Don't tell us that. Don't tell her that. We live it. Maybe if you had an ounce of what we get every day, you would understand where we are coming from. In my mind, when I find somebody I enjoy, I find somebody I follow, I relate to, somebody makes me laugh on social media, I don't think about drudging up shit. I don't think about investigating people. I don't think about slathering them all over freaking Reddit and Facebook fan pages that are just filled with hate. Why do people waste that time? What do you get off by doing that? Anybody? Anybody, those people? Anybody? Because if you are here and you do that, explain to me what benefit you get from dredging up shit. That's really not shit. That's a big fucking deal. I want to hear from you trolls out there. I want to hear, is it because I bother you that much? My relationship bothers you that much? Are you that jealous that I was able to get a platform and you failed at it because of my family situation? What creates that much hate to spend hours to try to find shit and in the process hurt people? Hurt people. I just can't.
How are you doing?
I just can't. I don't understand that. And I would love to bring any troll on my channel and have a talk with you about why you would do the things you do. Why do you want to smear shit? Why do you want to start shit? And why? What's the point? What does it do for you? It's crazy. The shit that I found out this weekend is crazy. All because of miserable people. And they don't take an ounce of time to think about the hurt that it can cause somebody else. The hurt of bringing up old traumas, bringing up old pain, bringing up sadness. For what? For a golden ticket you think you have? Sad. To hurt me?
You got the golden ticket.
To hurt me? Really? And you support Dan? Those of you claim you love Dan, but you hate me? What do you think that does to Dan? What do you think that predicament puts him in?
It puts me in a tough spot.
It puts him in a very tough spot. Do you think Ed, whom you say you love so much, would appreciate that? The one very person that he trusts, he feels safe, he understands, he looks for every day. There was some stupid woman who was trying to organize a posse to get me removed from the house, or Ed, because of me.
I mean, why do you pay attention to that?
Why? How do not people think that? The one person he never forgets every morning.
The dude's been here for 3 frickin' years. The average stay in memory care is 7 months. His decline has been fairly.
Do you not see?
Fairly slow.
If you got Ed removed
in a good
Dan,
environment. Yes.
If you got Ed removed from our home, what that would do to him, the people, the man you're trying to support, think about it. If you saw Dan's video yesterday, literally had no idea. I walked by, good morning, Danielle. That's who you want to take him away from somebody who he recognizes the most? God, you guys, how do you not see with dementia people, routine is the most important thing. Let's change his routine, take him out of our home, and see what fucking happens. Y'all, think. Next person who tells me to stop acknowledging anybody that I choose to talk about, remove them. I'm done. My boundaries are being set. Don't tell me what to do, how to do it. Don't, I'm done. I don't give a shit. And don't go whining to Dan. Yeah, a month, maybe. Don't go running to Dan. Oh, Danielle's moderators got me. Well, why? Yeah, you guys don't think about that when, and there's been many creators who have gone through situations like Adult Protective Services, called on them for what? I had this woman, and I can only validate myself, right? I can only tell you what happens in my house. I don't really know. But it's probably the same idiots that are doing the same thing to me. I had some woman on one of my channels I told you about, was like, she needs to be removed. Ed needs to be taken away from her. My husband's a policeman, and I'm gonna get him involved. Bruh, you're not even in my same jurisdiction. Are you kidding me? Think about it. Think about it. What do you want to say?
I don't know if you got to pee or something.
I don't have to pee.
You always want me to come cover for you. I was going to defend you. I just on the comments in there.
Yeah. Huh?
From your recent video.
Don't defend me with anything that I know I'm doing. Defend me by telling people to shut the fuck up. Don't defend me on things that are quite obvious, and I understand that I don't need you to say she's a good wife. She takes care of my dad.
That's not what I was going to say.
Okay, what are you going to say?
I was simply going to say, I watched your video, right?
Well,
and you were, where you're all, you don't drive anymore. They took your car away.
I didn't say it that way.
It doesn't matter. The point is, people were saying, someone's, you should have handled that better. My point is, in every single interaction that either of us have with him, we could always have handled it better. There's no question, but it doesn't, there's no clock ticking down, telling us, all right, you're going to be on in 5 seconds. He comes in, you have to respond in the moment, and you don't always respond perfectly. Nobody does.
What is
Every
perfect?
interaction.
What is a perfect response?
And then,
What is a perfect response?
a perfect response would
There is
be,
no, it's subjective.
it depends on the moment. Depends how bad he is. Depends on whether he's upset or just angry or frustrated. There's different responses to each of those emotions. And somebody said, was bitching about your subscription, right?
Sorry.
So, and I pointed out, A, you get $2 from each subscription. You don't make a lot of money off your subscription,
No.
A. And B, the only reason you do the subscription is to weed out the trolls and avoid commenters like that.
Yeah.
She's the reason
Lillian, are you listening to
that
my
you have a
husband?
subscription.
You're not listening, obviously. If you're telling me to listen, you need to clean your ears out and listen to what he's saying. Because I avoid people like you. That is why he's talking to you. Again.
You don't look for perfection in a caregiver. You look for compassion, consistency, dedication, love. Those are the
Trudy,
things
it's
you look
hard.
for in a caregiver. No caregiver is ever going to be perfect in their interactions.
Let me
Never.
change my
Sometimes they'll work.
I'm
Sometimes.
gonna change my
Oh, go ahead. I knew she was going to get off.
You're just talking on the side of me.
I'm drinking
It's irritating.
too much coffee today. And I had an interview with a sports guy. So I'm a little up right now. So yeah, her video, it's not, I would handle it very differently. It doesn't mean that, that she's a bad caregiver. Everyone's different. And when I tell everyone, look at the man in the video where she's talking. Is he upset? Is he panicking? Is he, taking a downturn because of the interaction, or is he pacified and mollified? Typically, he's comfortable at the end of all those interactions. And if he's comfortable, then it was overall a good interaction. Arnold, I can see you. Thank you, everybody. So real quick, I had this interview with this. I was super freaking excited because some guy from a local radio station in the Bay Area, saw I was a Niner fan, and he sent me a message. I'd love to do an interview with you. Then it was the perfect time with the Niners where they are, and I'm telling you, my head grew. I'm all sports interview. This is incredible. I told my buddies and all that, and then unfortunately, he was more interested in the TikTok. He was a fan first, so I don't know if he was really interested in my sports opinion. I did give it, but it was more like, he liked the channel, and so I guess I'm not a sports expert in anybody's mind, but I could have been if he'd just given me the shot. I could have been the sports expert. There's like 50,000 miles on that Porsche. It doesn't get driven that often.
Take it in.
What?
Get them to hook up the computer. Could be nothing.
Still, I walk outside. It's just, unfortunately, it's been raining the last couple days, so I have not been.
Okay.
All right, so is that it?
Yeah, this is, again, you are free to do your own lives. You always take over mine.
All right. I did get to mention my Saratoga Falcons.
Lord. No, he just likes to talk, but he won't do it without me. I would love him to do it on his own, but he won't. He needs me to hold his hand. Oh, Sarah, that's funny. Oh, shit. Anyway, so I'm going to work on that for myself, not for anybody else, but I'm working on it for myself because, the more attention I give to it, I think that it just drags me down even more, and so I'm done. I'm going to do my best. It takes you, 21 days to change a habit. I'm probably going to fall a lot, but I'm just telling you. No, Dan is not going to start running on the treadmill. Really quick, just because I see he's around the house making messes. The videos I do with Dan and I, You know, he doesn't get a lot of bashing, but there are a couple of women who constantly bash him. I, unlike Dan, believe in setting boundaries with that. I'm not trying to create a one-sided support system. I don't need people coming on and bashing my husband. I'm the only person who can bash my husband. I will not tolerate it. I will block you, and I will remove your comments. It is not there for that reason. Just like my videos aren't put up to bash me. Me, as an individual, I do those things to cope with his lack of focus on certain things. I don't want a Team Danielle, Team Dan, you know, I don't want it to be like, what an ass. And there has been women on there who has said, he's such a lazy person. What the hell, you could do better. I don't need that. Y'all are vicious, and I won't tolerate it. I won't tolerate it. He handles things differently, but my boundaries are being set now. Don't do it. I will remove you even though you're supporting me. He is not a bad man. He has his faults, just like we all do. But I make fun of him on purpose because that's how I cope. Donna, practice what you preach, honey. Damn it! Already failed. Well, he is lazy, but I don't need people to bash him. That's not what it's about. It's about to find humor. It's about to find humor in your own relationships. The old stupid wife and husband banter that we engage in every day. And if you say you don't do that with your husband, well then, I don't know how you get through. Dan is my man. Yeah. And let me tell you, he is very faulty. But I don't want him to be, it's not acceptable for me, for people to bash him like they are. Women. That's not what it's there for. Anyway, so this is it for the day. I'm catching up, I'm cleaning up, I'm finishing, I'm trying to get through Sister Wives. By the way, he did his job. I don't like that comment. He didn't do his job. Sapphire, jobs don't quit, especially when you're in a marriage. Right, you can tease, there's a big difference. Teasing is okay, but I don't think he's done with his job. I don't look at it that way. I look at that, my relationship's 50-50. We both have to do a job in order to be successful. Why is it that my job is still going? Why is it, how come I don't get a quit? For what reason do we make blatant statements like his job is done? I don't think so. And I think that's a 1950s outlook on life. And no, I wasn't grown up that way, and I don't believe it that way. Yes, and Malika, again, it's normalizing. It's normalizing. Hi, Franny. How are you, girl? You guys also, it's really important when you are looking into somebody else's relationship. You gotta understand, and this is where a lot of you are faulty when you watch somebody else's journey, whether it be with Ed, whether it be with my husband. But people have different personalities, right? People have different personalities. People have different family dynamics. People like to judge others based on what they aren't doing in their family, based on what the people watching do. Right? You're judging me based on what you see in my family because it's not something you do. You deem it wrong or the wrong way. Right? It's called being open-minded. When you come in and say, well, that's not how you do it, How do you know in my family that's not how you do it? Actually, what I'm showing you is, in my family, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how my husband and I do it. This is how we care for his father. But you are telling us we are doing it wrong. What gives you the qualifications to tell me and Dan that the way we go about it with our family dynamics and our personalities is not the way we do it? Think about how we know what's best for Ed, right? If you caregived for your parent or whoever and you did it the way you did it, doesn't make your way any better than my way. It just makes it different. And it worked for you. And what I do in my marriage and what I do with Ed may not work for you in your situation. And that's okay. But stop picking on people because it's not how you do it. I see it all the time in comments. We all have our own way based on our personality, based on our family dynamics of 30 years. Think about it. Omar, you talk to father-in-law not in a nice way. I do, because it doesn't work with your culture. In my culture, it is perfectly fine. But you're choosing to see that it's not okay. But if you stop focusing on me and look at my father-in-law, you will see that he is completely content and happy with the way that I communicate with him. Stop focusing on me. Stop focusing on what I do and how I do it. Like Dan said the other night, spend time watching Ed. Block me out. Watch him to the end of the video. Does it bother him? No. The way I communicate with him is the way he understands. It's the way he processes. It's what he appreciates and what he knows. That's it. End of story. Omar, again, that's your cultural belief. Stop judging other people's ways. Stop judging it. You're being very close-minded. You know, Dean, we talk about this all the time, about child rearing. I also talk about this with my kids. If you don't like the specific way I parent, break the cycle. You're the only one who can break this cycle, right? If you don't like the way, but I can tell you the way I was raised and the way I raise my kids is that. Keep your eyes open, keep your mind open, and keep your heart open. Keep it open. Because when you keep all those things open and you're aware of it, you are able to be kind, respectful, and loving. When you automatically assume and judge, you leave a bit of negativity in your trail into your person, which in turn makes you just like them. Be different, be better, and be kinder. Because in the end, it'll make you wiser. That's it. Stop judging others. You think if I thought I was doing a bad job, do you think if I thought I was being mean and ugly and condescending, I would put my videos up there with Grandpa? You think I would showcase my videos with Ed if I thought I was doing something wrong? Lori, again, did you hear my conversation? You can't always go into the world, Lori. Don't say that. It's a case-by-case basis. And if you watch our videos, again, you will see there's times, little things we go into his world. But you can't with him. You know why, Lori? Because he still has his mind. He still has his memory. He just can't place it. And until you tell him Bill's dead, he keeps looking. He starts getting more agitated, frustrated, and won't let it go, which in turn makes us more frustrated. But you must know better. You must know better because it worked for you that way. Again, open mind for other people's situations. Open minds, understanding that maybe the way we do it is the way we have to do it for Ed. Maybe what you do works for you, and that's great. And if you showed a video showing that, do you think for 1 ounce of a second I would go on your video and say, oh, but you're doing it wrong? You're telling me to stop, Lori? You wrote it. I read it. Maybe it's you who made the mistake. Every dementia patient is different. If you listen to all the professionals out there on dementia, they write a book, right? They do, they write a book. But at the end of the day, what they say is, you've got to do what's best at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for that person. Oh, hi, Lala. I appreciate that, and I hope I do. I want to make you laugh at the end of the day. I want to show you I'm frustrated every day, and that's okay, Lori. But before you hit it, you got to understand that it was perfectly there for what I was talking about. But you have to also be careful. It's hard when you write. Yes, we're basically at the mercy of them, right? We are at the mercy of the particular person we're dealing with. We have to accommodate and change based on what works for them. 100% right. And Lori, it's okay. It was coming down all night. Yeah, and learning how to make them and meet them halfway, or, again, I am perfectly imperfect. Like Dan said, people want to pick apart the semantics, the word choices, the stupid things that we say at times, right? We have tried so many different approaches, and he doesn't stop, right, until we tell him he died, right? Until we say he's dead, because he knows something's. Last night at the dinner table, I took a whole bunch of cute little clips because it was really calm last night. I was, he was somehow, I don't know, really connected with me last night. Really cute ways, and he was very caring. He's been very, very emotionally drawn to me the last week. And what's interesting is in this last, I appreciate it, Lori. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you think, God, every time he talks about Bill, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to talk about that. I hate doing it. I hate those disappointments. And people say, well, what about his second wife? Why would we bring it up? Why would we bring it up and remind him of another death when he's not remembering it? It's like, that board I used to have in his room. If I'm going to have bullet points, why would I have the things that maybe he might not remember on a given day, put it up there? Like Dan was finally like, the fuck, we're getting rid of this shit. It reminds him of things he may not always remember. And why would we want to do that? We don't. I write him notes, right? Lori, I used to sit him down at the table where he ate. He would read it, and then he would read them again, and then he would look up and literally ask me the same questions, you know? And I was literally saying, read your notes, Ed. He would read it again. Then he would look up at me because it's reminding him, I think, you know? It's reminding him of, it's setting off the neurons in his brain going, wait, I do remember that. So it is, you know, there's no easy solution. My word choices aren't always perfect. And I can't believe there's so many English and police out there, grammar police. What you should have said was, do you fucking think that would make an ounce bit of difference with the way I say it? How I say it? If I swallow to enunciate the period or the question mark? No. No. And think about how many times we have done it prior to maybe filming. Let me get this. It's a great example of the things I talk about. Nothing solidifies, right? It may pacify them for a minute. Pacify. And then they're up again because it's here. It's here. You know, Max, you know, I don't like that. I don't like those statements like that. There are things that you can do to help. Lots of patience. No shit. But let's be realistic. Patience is a virtue. When you're dealing with some of the things we deal with in a day-to-day basis, it's easy for people to say, have patience, be kinder. What? First of all, I am kind. I am as patient as I can be. At the end of the day, you think I have patience? Stop telling caregivers to have patience. You don't think we are fighting through that all day long? When we snap, Lori, which I do multiple times a day, Dan, Perfect Dan does it too, believe it or not. I'm not that kind all the time either, Tamara. I mean, I have come a long way from the beginning, but that's another story. Dan and I will get into that story at the beginning in a bit, but I didn't have the patience. Hi, Foops. We have both come a long way because most of us are thrown into this role. We are just thrown into this role as caregivers. Same like parenthood. Where's the handbook? Where's the handbook? I didn't give a handbook on parenthood, any of y'all. I didn't get a handbook on fucking being a wife. No, because we learn as we go. We adjust as we go. Bye, Samantha. We do it for many different reasons. But I normalize owning that I snap. I get frustrated. Sometimes I wake up frustrated as a caregiver, right? Some days I'm automatically up. Fuck, I don't want to caregive today. That is normalizing being a caregiver. Owning my shit. I put everything up there other than when Ed's very aggressive or like the other day. I'm not going to argue with you, Danielle. Yes, maybe it was blowing cold, but that's not the whole thing. Everybody wants to focus on the air. Be kind to him. Jesus fucking Christ. Do you understand what was happening before? He was feisty. That was feisty Ed. Y'all need to stop giving us your suggestions and telling me how to communicate with somebody I spend 24/7 with. 24/7. Shit. And you know what? I'm scared shitless. You know why? I'm gonna tell you. Dan leaves Thursday. Guess what that means? Me! 24/7. No help. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna suffocate. I'm gonna go crazy. And I can tell you, I probably will lose my shit multiple times a day. I laid in bed with Dan last night. I laid with him and he tossed and turned. You guys, this is a reminder of why I went to the other room. I fell asleep about 9:30. From 9:30 to 12, he was talking, he was touching, he was humping, he was every minute. He can't settle down. He can't settle down. So the last thing it took for me was he made a noise and he was on his hands and knees. Dan, are you okay? My heart's going, you know, everything. He's like, I'm fine. He was kissing the fucking dog. He was kissing the fucking dog. I said, that's it, I'm done. I can't do this shit anymore. This is why I sleep upstairs. Tossing and turning until 12 o'clock, and then scared me because I thought he was dying. I thought he was. I have bad memories of Dan on his hands and knees, okay? So I said, that's it, I'm done with you. He said, that's what it took you to leave? I said, well, the other day, you told me you wanted me to stay with you to like, because Coda was next to me because she wanted her bed and I wasn't in bed with her because we sleep together. Fuck. I said, that's it, I'm done. Fuck you. Fuck sleeping together. Don't ask me back, Jack. I do grateful. I was just commenting on Chris's video today. We talk. Oh, God. I'm telling you, I was dying. So, no. Now, I will have Ed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday by myself. You know, and I was telling Dan before I fell asleep, I said, I'm kind of scared. You know, I'm kind of nervous because even though I do a majority of the things, I still have him there, right? As a buffer, as like, he puts him to bed, he showers him, you know, he takes some of the things. I'm gonna have to do it all. You know, I'm gonna have to wake up with him all night long. It's gonna be exhausting. So I did tell Andrew, I said, you know, when you get home Thursday, I gotta run to the casino because I get my 4th pot. And you know, now, everybody who's suggesting Mark, you don't know. Here's the downside to having Mark come over. If Mark comes over, what do you think that does for Ed? It fucks him up, right? He already is gonna know, you know, Dan's not there. He's already gonna know Dan's not there. So he's gonna be off. Mark coming is going to create more anxiety when he leaves for Ed. It stresses me out. I'm in a conundrum, right? Because although Mark's help would be nice, to just relieve me a couple hours, the after effects are going to be so much more stressful for me than any by trying to do it myself, right? Also, I know how to do everything, I know how to do everything. I'm here. Mark hasn't been here for over 3 months. You better go to the rainbow and leave Grandpa by himself. It's a collective sort. I have a PT appointment on Friday, but I think I'm going to cancel it just because I'd rather Mark not be here. I'd rather Mark not be here for me, my sanity, right? It's a protection for me. Yes. So, Pat, and people don't realize it. I get Mark when it's date night, yes. But Kiwi, what's the difference? I have Dan with me. So y'all don't understand the situational stuff that happens. So explaining is hard. He doesn't listen. We just do it. We know. We have the hang of it. It's like having to explain to a babysitter, do this, do that. Hi, Ella. So most likely, I'm hoping that I'll give him a shower. If I need help, I'll have Andrew on standby. My gut is just saying, don't. And, we'll just go with the flow. He's there if I need him for an emergency, but that's it. It sounds like you're burning out. No shit. Every caregiver burns out. That doesn't sound like a no shit. Caregivers burn out. I burn out being a mom sometimes. That's normal. Stop stating the obvious and thinking it's a negative attack. I think yes, Nora. I think he would. I think he would definitely. I change him every day. Change his pants, change his undergarments. He has no, if you're a caregiver, you would know that burnout happens. And then what happens? We have to just pick up our big girl panties and work through the burnout because that's reality of caregiving. It's reality of being in a relationship. It's reality of being parents. You know how many times I was burnt out when I was traveling for sporting events with my kids, trying to schedule, this way, coming home, having to take somebody else the next time, micromanaging the house so Dan knew what to do, where to get them to, doctor's appointments, right? It's not just caregiving, it's life, Do we use shower wipes? No. We all get burnt out. It's a reality of the job. It's the reality. I get burnt out doing social media too. It takes a lot of energy. Working. Who gets burnt out with work? It's the same shit. I hate when people attribute it to only one thing. To me, it's the whole kit and caboodle. Yes. Kids are elders. So I took Kathleen. I wasn't on for a couple days. So I take my breaks. It's a combination of everything, honestly. Phil, does he need a cane? Probably. Would he use one? No. Hi, Alex. So life is about just figuring as easy as we can. We fail, we make mistakes, we say the wrong thing, but at the end of the day, be kind to the caregivers who are showing you. Be kind to them. Stop focusing on them. Focus on how their person looks. Focus on how their person is comfortable with them. Or not. Maybe they don't have a good dynamic. But I would run circles around a lot of you. I would, because That's my nature, you know? I get shit done. I'm constantly in a state of movement. And that's just my personality. He's crazy, Kathleen. I mean, it's just so weird. Brenda, I did yesterday. I was out of my house. I think I woke up about 5 a.m. yesterday morning. I started my laundry, did some of my household chores because I knew I wasn't going to be home all day. And then ran a little bit. And then I was gone till about 2:30. 2:30. And I fell asleep at the wheel a couple times, you guys. I was tired. I did. I fell asleep at the wheel. Oh shit, coming home. So I left the house at about 8. And this weekend was a very emotional weekend for me for many different reasons. And so I was very emotionally drained. I didn't sleep well. And I literally came home and Dan's like looking at me. I said, I can't anymore. I can't. And he's like, what's the matter? And he wanted me to go get him something at the gas station. And I literally was just on autopilot. You know, when I think about, you know, those days when you think about coming home and you're like, how did wow, I'm alive. Crazy. Yeah. Luckily, my car has those things when you go across the line, you know, it wakes you up. Shit. You know, it was raining. I was tired. It hit me. It hit me. I was fine coming home. So I literally just walked in, gave Dan what he wanted, and from the gas station I picked up, I said, I don't even know how I did this, but I did. And I literally threw my shit down on the floor and laid down on the bed. I literally just crashed. I hit a wall. I hit a wall. And I fell asleep. Probably, I mean, Grandpa was coming in and out. You know, Dan was yelling. Grandpa was talking, you know, it was hard to sleep through all that, but nobody cares. I couldn't even open my eyes. The dogs even at one point, I think I have a little scratch on my face right here. They could have, and I was just like, I can't. I didn't even have the energy. I was dead, you guys. It's draining, you know. Life is draining. Everything combined in my life that I do is draining, and it gets to you. It catches up to you sometimes. It doesn't mean I'm not having fun doing it. Am I hungover from drinking? Some sense. I don't know why people assume the worst about drinking. That's sort of a trigger for me. I don't know why, but it just so, well, I do know why. I'll explain that at a later time, but it's such a trigger for me, that people are so ignorant and so mean and so judgy based on, what I show, right? I had, my max is 2 glasses of wine. That's my max. And no, I don't get hungover from 2 glasses of wine. Occasionally I might indulge. My plan on Saturday was drinking the whole bottle. I was like, I'm drinking the whole bottle. I don't even care. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna drink the whole bottle. I am watching my show, and I didn't even get through. I couldn't even get through the whole bottle. I had like 2.5 glasses, and then I poured it out. I poured off my half glass because I was like, I don't want this. The only time I really drink and I have a chance of being hungover is when I go to the casino with my neighbor. But even that, why? Why does it bother people when people have alcohol? Why do they use it as an attack? Like it makes you a bad person. What do? Do you do the ferns? Do you smoke the ferns? Do you eat the ferns? You know, do you take prescription pills? I bet all of you all who judge others for having wine do worse than I do. Yes, my mom struggled with alcohol. My dad, too. They were both alcoholics. But that's not why it triggers me. There's a story behind that, which we will get to eventually. So yes, now I finally realize why it triggers me. I don't judgy. God, it brings up so many things to me. The judgment that we all have, right? We all have judgment in ourselves. It's a matter of how we choose to vocalize those things. I'm working on my judgment because I think it's important. I always think, would I want that person to hear me if I said this out loud, right? Would I be okay with them hearing it? And in some cases, I would, right? I make my whole point of talking shit. If I am going to say it, I better be comfortable saying it to their faces. And that's how I decide whether or not I'm going to spew my shit. And most of the time, I've already told the person the same thing I have told my group of friends. So no, I have no shame in my game. There's times that I slip up, and then I'm like, ooh, God, I shouldn't be saying this. Nope, sorry, not sorry, but sorry. It was meant for my head only. But I try to own my shit. I respect people who speak up for their beliefs, right? As humans, we all struggle with owning our shit. We do. It's just a fact of life. There's things that happen in my day-to-day life with other groups, other people, and people are very one-sided, and it's a disappointment sometimes. Because knowing me and being surrounded by me, y'all know how I feel, how I think, and the struggles at which I'm trying to change and be better myself. I don't begrudge people for standing up for things that they believe in. And if people are going to judge them based on saying, hey, I'm not comfortable with that, or hey, maybe we should take it down a notch, just in case somebody were to hear it or it gets back to the person. I don't blame people for that, but other people do. People are complicated individuals to me sometimes. I'm myself complicated. I see myself, but it's so hard for people to say, you know what, you're right. It could be bad, or we should. You're right. I hear you. Instead, people want to create things out of it. Instead, people want to create attacks and anger towards other people or use it to validate their feelings towards other people. God. I almost flew off my treadmill. Don't close your eyes on the treadmill. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to me. Those things plague my head every day, right? Along with everything else. Try to be my ultimate, my best version of myself. It's hard, I get burnt out. Bye, go. I get burnt out because my mind doesn't stop, My mind doesn't stop thinking about all the interpersonal relationships and how everybody connects and doesn't, or is pissed off at somebody, or, you got the trolls and the amount of hate that people go through to tear people down. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It has been hard for me lately, you guys. It has been hard. It has been hard for me to understand others. And I'm barely understanding myself, right? Barely. I just started learning how to understand me. My head's exhausted. My head's exhausted. So I hit a wall. I hit a wall. I hit a wall. I hit a wall. I want to help the world, you know? That's me. I want to help the world. I want people to see my purpose. I want people to understand my purpose. I want people to learn with me. I want people, hi Sag Peace. I want people to feel and understand that we all have a place. We can all be happy. Maybe not every second of the day, but in the most part, we can all open our eyes, our minds, our hearts, and be so much happier. But people can't do it. They want to see things that they want to see, or they can't open their eyes enough to see the good that people also give. And I think, thanks Rita, I think that, Nana Peg, I think it's exactly, we need to grow up. It took me 48 years to finally see that. And it hurts, you know, it hurts because I spend my days thinking about specific things, whether I see it on social media, I hear it on social media, I read it, I feel it, like Friday night with all those attacks. And trying to just understand the misery that people have, the jealousy, the hate. It plagues my heart. And I don't know how to turn it off. I don't know how to turn it off. Vicki, it takes a long time, honey. It took me a long time to find my place. It really did. It's a lot of soul searching. It's a lot of realizations. It's a lot of reflection. It's a lot of thinking, oh shit. I don't know if I like what I see, staring back. And it's a lot of hard work because we as humans have a hard time. Think about it. I'm going to give you guys all homework to do. When you guys are in an argument today, because we all get in little scuffles, right? Think to yourself if you can stop yourself from responding, think about it. Before you respond, take a minute, deep breath, and be rational about your response. Be rational. And if you can't take the time, Jody, to think before you speak or write, reflect on how you responded. Reflect on how you immediately responded and think to yourself, could I have done it better? And gosh, own what you said. And if you can, in conscious effort, see that maybe I was wrong, maybe that was a little harsh, maybe she had a point or he had a point, and go back and apologize. That's starting to figure out your life. That's starting to figure out what your purpose is. You have to figure out you before you can decide what your purpose is. Because if you ain't happy, there is no way you're going to find the right purpose. When did I become a counselor? Joe, bruh, this is my life. I'm counseling based on my search. I'm counseling based on my experience. I'm counseling based on things that I read from others. Joe.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Yeah, people, you know, Dan said, you know what we should do? Every person who wants to come on and has just an insightful comment, and that's being sarcastic, you know, my native tongue. You want to come on? You want to put in a little box? You got a little box? Well, I'll put you in a box. In my right hand corner, I'll put you in a little box. And you want to say it to my face? I would love to bring you on. Anybody from this point forward who has 1,000 followers can come on and I'll put you on a little box. How about that? I have a feeling majority of you that have a lot to say without being seen would not enter my box. Get it? I don't think so. Because y'all have a lot of toughness behind that. That would stop. This is my new thing. Even Dan said, you know what? I'm done with these idiots. You know, he finally saw, and he finally listened to what I was saying, right? He finally heard what I was saying. Dan did. I don't need you to validate what I do around the house. I need you to be a husband. Because if it bothers you this much, tell them to shut the fuck up, which you should have done in the first place. And he's like, you know what? For anybody who has a question about our private life, let's bring them on. Let's have a question. Let's have an open forum. Let's see your face. Let's see what you're willing to discuss with me eye to eye. I don't think you would. And that's fine. Just shows the coward you really are, honestly. Yeah. Stop and smell the roses and blow out the candles. I always tell my kids the same way. Hi, Johnny. Bye, Johnny. I always tell my kids the same way. Stop before you react. Think about it. We're all creatures of reaction, right? We're all creatures of response and emotion. And a lot of times we react, we're emotional because we may not like the person, or we may think, whatever. And we might react a little bit harsher, but that doesn't make it okay. And that's not justifiable in my eyes, right? I do the same thing. I am guilty of doing the same thing and reacting, right? Trolls are always on here telling me what I do wrong. No, you guys are seeing the wrong things in my character. You guys are judging me for shit that doesn't matter. Look to the core. Look to the core. Look at the things that matter. Look at the things that matter. My tone doesn't fucking matter. Look at Ed. My tone doesn't bother him. Look at the things that matter. Does he remember my name every day? Yep. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Because I spend the most time with him. Even on my worst moments, even on my worst days, I am still doing it. My tone doesn't mean anything. It means my actions are showing. My actions are showing more than my words. Look at what I'm doing. Look at Ed. Stop focusing on the external shit. I'm not perfect. I'm curt sometimes. I'm to the point sometimes. And I'm very short sometimes because that's what works with him. That's what works for him. Stop focusing on how I don't work for you. My way may not work with you, but it works with the person I'm caring for. Stop judging that. He loves me for it. And do you think he would have it better anywhere else? Hell to the nah. As hard as it is for me, I am taking care of that man. Through thick, through thin, through frustration, through sadness, through anger. I am doing it. And I still do it pretty good. Even on those days, he still looks at me. And he has been very connected with me this week. And it makes me think, this is another thing I think about, right? I have been struggling this last week. Guess who's more attuned to me? Ed. Ed is more attuned to me than my own husband. Ed gets it. Strange, right? Strange. Honey, are you okay? Honey. Honey, no, are you really okay? Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I got it. I finally realized why he's been so into my, my emotional side. It's because he feels that I'm going through something. He feels. My husband doesn't know unless he sees me crying. The only husband knows something is when I'm crying. Ed doesn't see me cry. What was on my face? I don't know. Ed doesn't see me cry. He feels it. He knows it. Kind of cool. You don't do that with somebody you're not bonded with. You don't do that with somebody who worries about tone. You do that with somebody you care about. You do that with somebody you appreciate. You watch when you care for somebody. Pretty fucking cool. Vicky, he was a foot doctor. What now?
Nothing.
Here comes Mr. FOMO. Here comes. What am I doing? What am I doing, you guys? What am I doing? I don't know. I'm picking my butt. Why are you out here doing a video?
I'm just bored.
Again, you can do your own lives.
I don't want to do a live. It's too much pressure. I have to be on it. I can just pop in, pop out. No pressure. Zero pressure. Why are you looking at me like that? Was that like a...
Dan's a pain in the
Was
ass.
that the look of seduction?
No.
Were you sending me a message?
Dan's
like,
a pain
as
in
soon
the
as
ass.
we're off here?
Not only do I deal with Ed, I deal with this ADHD guy.
ADHD.
Okay, well, you're out here. So what do you want to talk about?
Nothing. How you doing in Colorado?
You're here. Do
I'm here.
something.
What do you guys want to talk about? Seduction. I like seduction. She's doing weights. I mean, your YouTubers are just unmerciful with me. They're merciless. Look at that. Get out of here. Get your own channel. Get off our channel. Do a little dance.
Oh, are you looking at YouTube for once?
I'm looking. It's the big screen here. Mm-hmm. I'm not always happy. I was not happy with that sports interview today because I wanted to talk more sports. It was a good interview. A really nice guy. I'm going to start listening to the radio station. But holy
Did you
moly.
tell people what your interview was?
Yeah, I told him I did. So I had an interview, a guy from a local sports station, right, in San Francisco, like the Game Day is what it's called, 95.7. If you're in the Bay Area, Game Day is the name of the sports thing. And I got an email. He's like, "Hey, I see you're a Niner fan. I'd love to interview you." And so I'm like, "Whoa, sports! That's the thing. I'm doing. I've arrived. I'm doing a sports interview." But unfortunately, and this guy's like up there with sports knowledge, so I'm all like excited. I'm like watching. I watched the game last night. I read some more stats, but it turns out he was just a fan of the channel and wanted to hear more about the channel. And when I gave my sports thing, he kind of just poo-pooed it, because who the hell am I to talk about sports? So I was a little disappointed. But he was a really nice guy. I can't wait to watch it. I got a plug-in for my high school. That was good.
I don't know why that excites you.
For my buddies, because those are my friends, that are live in that
like
area.
People at Saratoga
my
High
football friends.
remember you. It's like, oh, Dan Salinger.
My friends that I played football with, if they hear it, then they'll hear the Falcons. It's like, yeah, you got to put in a plug for your own hometown high school, right? I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah, Dan was pissed. Dan was like, I wanted to talk sports.
Yeah, but I don't have sports cred, I don't have sports cred, apparently.
He's just a fan.
He's a fan, which is fine. He was a very nice guy. I got on. I'm grateful. But, I thought maybe he wanted to hear my incredible, insightful sports.
He apparently didn't, and you were trying to shove it in there. I was sitting on the stairs.
I wanted to talk sports.
I was sitting on the stairs, right? Because I was kind of listening for Grandpa to bypass him when he got up. And Dan's just trying to give him his insight to the,
I'm trying to
game
get
and
sports in.
He's trying to get.
He's like, so tell me about the channel. How'd you start the channel? Well, I was watching football one day. I'm good, Punjab. The Dan Salinger Show. I'm good. I can't walk out my own garage. I can't help it. She's online all the time. I come out here to talk to my wife. We're online. So, how y'all doing?
Not me.
She's online.
We're online later.
We'll be online later, right?
So everybody who has something negative to say tonight, be ready to pop up in a box.
Chiefs game, good. Chiefs game was good.
Right? Pop people up in a box.
Negative people?
Yeah. See what they say face to face.
We'll call it troll in a box.
Troll in a box. Oh my God, the oranges. Did you have one? I kind of smell one on your face.
No, I did not have an orange. It's an on that you're smelling.
Grandpa did. He has a scab, Sarah, so he keeps picking
He scratches
at
it up. I gotta freaking cut his nails.
Yeah, I've been telling you to cut his nails for a minute.
Well, they grow faster than mine.
Before you leave, you need to do his nails and you need to do his toes.
Oh yeah. Well, I did his toes last week, but his nails.
And then clean them up because they hurt when I step on those. They're like daggers.
I mean, they fly off. It's hard to, they fly out of the thing, and I don't know where they go. But they are hard, thick nails, man.
I know. That's why they hurt when you step on them barefoot.
Yeah. It's like stepping on a tack.
And Austria, oh my God. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Oh, oh. We need to do them outside. That's what you should do, is do them outside. You also should go get.
When the bee stings.
The dog bites. Why don't you go do something good and go to Bighorn and go get.
What?
Go get your shots. Your 56-year-old shots.
Oh my God. When the bee stings. When you're feeling blue.
And make sure you have a suit that fits.
I just think of a few of my favorite things.
Do you have a suit that fits?
And then you don't feel
Dan,
so bad.
why don't you start planning your wardrobe so that way at the last minute you're not yelling at me to make sure you have things to wear.
No, it's Monday. I'm not going to fix my wardrobe for Thursday.
Okay, what if you need something to the dry cleaners and you're not going to have it because you're waiting till Thursday to pack? Let's be proactive instead of waiting to the last minute like you always do. Remember what happened in Washington, D.C.? And you look like a expired sausage link?
Pounds overweight.
Yeah, and you were popping out. You couldn't even button your fucking button.
No, that sucked. Hopefully I won't have a weight spurt between now and then.
Well, I mean, again.
Quit looking at my stomach.
It's so ridiculous because that's the thing, is that he'll wait, and Wednesday he'll start yelling and screaming, I gotta fucking find anything, where's this, where's that, I don't have a fucking suit, nothing fits me. And I'm trying to say, do it now. And he needs a fucking haircut, right? Try on the suit, let's do things before the Wednesday when we're not gonna be, he doesn't do that. And then it becomes my problem, right? Then he's yelling at me, he's screaming at me, what did you do with my shit? Where's my blue suit? Where's the pinstripe one? And then he packs it and then tries to squeeze into it when he gets there and nothing fits. I try to help him. This is what I try to do. This is my role as his wife. And then I'm going to be bitching all week. He's still not going to do it. And then Wednesday's going to come and I'm going to video him in his shit of rage and trying to find something that will not fit him. So, yeah. And then, or he won't try it on. Oh, it should fit. And then he'll get on stage looking like an Oompa Loompa, like one of those Pillsbury dough, things when you pop open the dough and the everything comes out, the seams. That's what he looked like.
That's what he looked like in frickin' Washington, D.C. when he was invited there. He looked like a Pillsbury dough can. An opened Pillsbury dough can. It was embarrassing.
A, Oompa Loompas are orange and the Pillsbury Doughboy is white. The color of flour.
Again.
I'm neither of those things.
Yeah.
And I'm not 3 feet tall like an Oompa Loompa.
You look like that. And go pull up some of that old footage in Washington, D.C. It made you look smaller and short and stout. Wasn't a becoming look. And you're closing the summit.
Confidence builder here. Isn't that great? I'm going to step on stage thinking short, stout, fat, Oompa Loompa, Pillsbury Doughboy. I'm going to step up there and I'm going to be so confident.
And you need to get a haircut.
I will get a haircut.
And we need to trim.
Yeah.
The camera does add 10 pounds.
Adds 15 pounds.
Just wear your Spanx. Stan, we should get you some Spanx. You can wear my Kim Kardashian ones. They have a hole in the crotch. No, it drove me nuts. I was like, you were supposed to, what are you looking like? I don't even think he had a haircut. Or am I mixing up his fucking Costco membership photo? Because that's what I see in Washington, D.C. Dan does not have to be the boss. Dan doesn't care he gives me all the control. He doesn't care. There was a comedian on TikTok, and it made me laugh. I don't know who he is. I was trying to find his name. I couldn't see it, but Kelly Clarkson just interviewed him, and he's like, girl, I can barely breathe. My Spanx are so tight. And I just started giggling. I said, who is this guy? I don't know if anybody saw that. Yes, he was swollen and no haircut. Kind of like his Costco, kind of like the Costco picture. Matt Matthews, oh my God. Okay, I've never seen him. He's like, I'm like one of those. Didn't he say a biscuit in a can? Girl, I had to. And Kelly was like, Kelly said, I don't need those anymore or something like that. Matt Matthews. He was funny. I was like, oh, he's cute. I mean, his personality's cute. So I think, anyhow, that's what it reminded me of. A biscuit can. An open biscuit can. I've never seen him before. I've never seen Matt Matthews. Is he a TikTok thing? Is he a TikTok thing? He's a little, yeah, you guys are always a busted can of biscuits, yeah. Okay, so he started with TikTok. Kind of like, I don't do Facebook. Okay. Oh my God, I have to look for him. Okay, I'll look for him. Matt Matthews, that's his name. I'll have to look for him because he made me giggle so hard when he said that. Girl, I'm like a busted can of biscuits if I don't wear these things. He's also a photographer. Matt Rife, whatever his name is, he's pretty, I mean, people think I'm crass. Shit. I mean, Matt is crazy. I love Chelsea Handler. Oh, you are? Ali, I think he's great. But he's really, really intense. I'm surprised people like him because he's very crass. I mean, he doesn't care what race you are, if you're disabled or anything. He will literally pick you out of a crowd and bust you up. And like, I was giggling at some of the stuff he said. He picked apart this guy who was missing a leg. And I was like, oh my God. He pushes every boundary. I was like, shit. I love Chelsea too, but Chelsea's different. Chelsea Handler is a different breed. She's really funny. She also, you look at people who make it, in the comedy world and whatever they do, acting and all that shit. Mostly comedians. They all have their story, They all have their stories. You can always laugh. And it's so funny because people want to sit and they want to pick apart, but y'all see comedy shows, right? I mean, some of those people are brutal. Some of those comedians, I'm like, God damn, they're ruthless. I would never even, I might think something they say, but I would never say that shit. Chelsea is really funny. Chelsea is more dry. You know, she's kind of that dry humor. I read her books back in the day. She's hilarious. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, it's not for the faint of heart, especially with Matt. I even told Dan, one of the things he said, he goes, God, I mean, that's bad. That's bad. It is, but funny as shit. Sometimes, you know, for me, sometimes it is the crass shit that is like, you can't help but to laugh, but you're like, I can't believe they just said that. Holy crap, Nate Jackson. Oh my God. Eddie Murphy being one, right? Eddie Murphy being one of them. Raw. I mean, do you remember that? Shit. I was like delirious. Or no, was it delirious? When it looks like. I mean, some of those old school the comedians. I mean, some of the think it's just like we were talking about the other night. Even the TV shows that we watched, you know, today, are you kidding me? Shit like that will not be aired because of everybody and their political ways, and that's not okay. You can't call people that anymore. Why not? It's funny as shit. Funny as shit. Remember, I mean, I look up all those we were just talking about the other day, you know, all the shows, Sanford and Son, Jeffersons, Archie Bunker. I mean, ooh, brutal, but it's funny. And people are so sensitive, we have to be changing names on shit now because it's not politically correct. What? Oh, crap. Yeah, why is it not okay today? Why was it okay then, but not today? You know, we didn't take things personal back then. You know, today, our ass gets chapped for any little morsel of, like, something. Any morsel, little morsel, everybody's like, you did not just say that. What did I say? The shit we grew up on. The words we use, you know. Now it's like, gosh, you can't say the R word anymore. Well, why not? Because it's not politically acceptable. Do you know every 2 seconds in high school, elementary school, and junior high, we use that word like it was like a cuss word. And today I use it. I call my son that all the time. I can't, what? It's not okay. I know it's not, but I still can't help it. You are being one. Back in the old, and it has nothing to do with the present day. You know, anything is not trying to make fun of anybody today. Anybody with a, you know, who's, you know, because it's, the correct term is mentally retardation. And I hate that word. I hate that. Medically. Riri. My nickname from one of my friends is called Riri. She called me her retarded lover. I don't know why. Riri. Rihanna's nickname is, it's not even a medical term anymore. I hate that stuff. I hate that. No, I know that. But and the reason why I brought that up is because I got a letter. I got a letter in the mail. Somebody was really upset with me. Y'all know I'm expressionate. Y'all know I make faces. Y'all know I just act. I just do my shit. But somebody... But somebody took offense to my facial expressions. Probably that, you know, tongue out. I don't know. And the things that people pick up on and assume, and she used that word. They mailed me a letter. And used that word and said, I don't care when you talk about everything else. I don't care when you talk about this or talk about that. But your facial expression that you made on your live evening, blah, 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 at this time affected me. Because I felt like, and it was an attack on people with disabilities. And she used the term I used. And I haven't heard that to him. I say special needs all the time. I say, funny thing, I got a warning. I say those things all the time. But she was upset. When I'm making faces, it has nothing to do with anything but just my silly mood. That's it. It has nothing to do with anything but my silly mood. I can't help perception, but I'm never that person. Oh, wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker. Anyhow, so there you have it, you guys. We're on live tonight. Be there, be square. And just so you know, come kind. Come kind.
If you got a warning, how to get off?
Anyhow, that's not how it works that way. Anyhow, I will see you later. Yeah, look at Ozzy. Anyhow, good song. You know what song that is. They used to sing that to me anyhow. So when I was little, because I was whined. Go figure. Anyhow, see you guys later. Love you. Have a good day. You are important. You are worthy. And you matter. Your feelings are just that. Yours. Take a minute before you react. Take a minute. Deep breath. And if you forget to do those things, then reflect on your actions and see if they were valid or not. And then if they weren't, maybe you apologize or something. I don't know. Anyhow, see you guys later.